Three. Today's topic is joy. So, joy, Amanda, what is joy for you?
Okay, so I think the first thing I would like to distinguish is how joy varies from happiness. So if we're talking about it on the scale of consciousness, joy is up there, and
I love
it's
that. It's getting higher and higher.
interesting. It's interesting that it's not expressed anywhere on that table that David Hawkins devised as happiness. And I think the reason for that is because in its truest expression, joy has the ability to kind of transform difficult times into meaningful times.
Oh, meaning.
And
It's all about meaning.
yeah, so it gives you, it feels like a blessing rather than a difficult period. And the best example I can give you of that is when my mom died. It was awful, and I sort of languished in grief for a long time, but afterwards, as time went on, I began to see that as a gift, which to some people listening might think, what, that's bizarre, but actually what happened to me afterwards as a result of losing my mom was that I started to transform myself, and I started to learn stuff that I would never have gone anywhere near if I hadn't lost my mom when I did.
That sounds like gratitude.
Well, it does. It also, because joy can transform trauma or illness or whatever into gratitude as well. It makes you. You were talking about it earlier. You were saying, when you broke your arm, you were just incredibly grateful for the fact that your body helped you.
That's complicated. So what is joy then? So joy is a mixture of emotions, or is it only when something bad happens and then it turns into something?
No, don't misunderstand, because I think when we're talking about it as a vibrational sort of aspect, it's about a state of being. So it's not about experiencing an emotion of joy. It's about living in that state of joy.
All the time.
So everything you kind of understand, well, as much as you possibly can, that you understand that there's a bigger picture, that life is happening for you, not to you.
Yes, it's it's attitude.
Yeah. But it's also how you see it as well. It's not necessarily your choice of attitude. It's how you can almost
how you choose to see it
above it. Yes, I suppose it is. There is a choice aspect there, but it's more about the way you're being rather than how you're choosing to be. If you see what I'm saying, it's a distinction, but I just think it's the best way I could describe a joyful moment for me is serenity. It's when you're standing at the edge of the ocean and you feel that feeling of oneness.
I completely understand. Alignment. And I think actually now you're saying that, for me it's like, when I'm totally connected and present and grateful all at the same time. Whereas before I was thinking joy is laughing, but laughing can be part of it as well, but it's not only laughing. It's a number of things, but it's alignment, I think.
I think it's less about a response to a certain thing, whereas happiness, we think about happiness being created for us by something. Joy is how you feel within. It's an actual feeling of depth. And like I said, I think Buddhists call it Zen, the Zen moment, where you actually feel connected, which to me is just totally what it is.
But I guess it's not enlightenment, because that's higher up, isn't it? So
that's higher up,
So it's not I would say enlightenment is when you're completely aligned. So maybe joy is on the way to being aligned, or
and I think, like I said, I think it's kind of there's a kind of transformation there. It's transfiguration. You're sort of much more aware of who you really are. It's a self, your self-use of completeness.
Like everything, it's just you like the levels of awareness. It's just one step deeper or one step closer, but you never get to the end of it, do you? You just layers. So
that's a good way to look at it. It is layers, and like we're not saying that once you're in joy you're going to vibrate at joy for the rest of your life. The chances are, once you've experienced it, you'll want to get back to it. But it's actually kind of there's levels that you will vibrate in, but the chances are that you won't ever go right back down to apathy, because you'll know how good it feels.
Or you might, but you'll come back up faster.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Follow, come and watch us on this week, my page on LinkedIn.
So excited.
Yeah, so exciting. We're getting higher and higher. See you there.
See you there.